Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, think we're good. Think we are good. NFL round one mock draft. Beginning phases. Let's really, really, really face. Let's really talk about that. The beginning phases always means I'm just looking at the players right now. I'm just taking a look at the players. But I'm getting a sense as to what teams need and what teams want. And I'm going there. I'm going to tell you who I think each team should get. And I think, all right, overall number one pick, Carolina Panthers. All right. First off, I think they should have kept their picks. Let's just state it that way. They should have kept all those ones and twos and threes and not given it away. But they forfeited the next 4 years, 3 years of their draft. And now let's see, my screen's done went blank on me now. What's going on here? What the hell's going on? Let's see. Maybe I have done. Maybe I hit something wrong here. No, I didn't. All right. All right. So, is the cam working now? Wow. So it'll be a pain in the butt today. There we go. Let's see if we can get this going again. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right. Looks like my cam wants to be a pain in it. So Dwayne says it's looking okay. Looks like I'm having problems with the cam. Looks like it wants to be a pain in the ass today. Let's see. Maybe I may have to go to cam 2 here. Let's see if I do. If I do, I'll do it. All right. I have to go to cam number 2 here. I can do that. Let's see from everybody if cam number 1. Now you're freezing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm freezing. So now I may have to go to cam 2. All right. Let me see what's happening here. Which I can go to cam 2 if I need to. I can do that. Right now, though, it looks like it's working okay. It looks like it's working better. All right. Let's see if it is. Okay. If Dwayne says it's working okay, we're going to stay right here. If not, I'll go to my second feed, which I can do that. I can do that. That's not a problem. I can do that. All right, now you're freezing. Right. Okay, let's switch cameras in if that's what we need to do. All right. Make sure first off I get all of the volume going this way. And then before I check it and before I change anything, hold on just for a second. Make sure I cut the stove off. All right. Yeah, I cut the stove off. All right. I think it's StreamYard. Okay. All right. So we're going to stick with this. All right. My mock draft is early. It's still 2 weeks away. 2 weeks plus. This is who I am saying they're going to pick. Then I'm going to tell you who I would pick, okay? All right, let's go first with the Carolina Panthers. We know Frank Reich likes smart quarterbacks. To me, the smartest quarterback out there is Bryce Young. Bryce Young, Alabama. I think he's a number one pick. I really do. I think he's going number one. Too many things going for him. Yeah, he's 5'11". That's okay. That's okay. It's been short quarterbacks that's actually done well in the NFL. They're going to put some talent around him. I like Bryce Young. Number two, the Texans. They could go a lot of ways here. They could go with Will Anderson Jr. They could go Peter Skoronski. They could go Devin Witherspoon. There's so many ways they could go here, and really, even if they wanted to, they could go Jalen Carter. But I don't think they go any of those routes. I think they're going to take a quarterback. I think they're going with C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud, OSU quarterback, Ohio State University quarterback. We'll see what he does. He did well in the playoff game that he played. He did really, really well, and we'll see what happens. But I think that's the route they take. The next pick goes to the Cardinals. The Cardinals could use virtually anything except quarterback because they've got all their money invested in their quarterback. So I'm going to say they're going with Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr., Alabama. This is a pick that's pretty easy, I guess you can say, because you're thinking, well, they shouldn't really have a problem at all. With whoever they're going to get, okay? All right, Dwayne. Because they need so much. They need defense. They need offensive tackle. They could use a tight end. They could use a wide receiver. In my opinion, they could use a quarterback, but they're not going that route. Will Anderson Jr., Alabama, number 3 pick. Number 4 pick, the Colts. This one right here, this one gets in my craw a little bit because this kid did nothing in college. Absolutely nothing. He didn't win anything. But everybody's got him way up here and saying he's going to be the best player in the draft. I say at best, he's a 3rd round pick. That's my say. You hear what Rob says. Anthony Richardson of Florida. He's not a 1st round talent. I know that. He's not a 1st round talent, but he's going to go. He's going to go early. The Colts are sold on him. They would rather have Stroud. I know that. I don't think Stroud's there then. They're going to get Anthony Richardson. I'm sorry. Texas Tech product goes to Seattle. Look, Seahawks need a quarterback, and I still think they're going to address that. But I think later in the draft. I think right here they're going to go with the edge rusher, Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech. They have been known as a Legion of Boom in the past when they won. They need to get that defense tightened up, grip tight, then worry about your quarterback. Right now, this is not a quarterback deep draft. This is a defensive end, tackle, and cornerbacks. This is a defensive draft, if there ever was one. This is the one. And Tyree Wilson, Texas Tech goes here. I think he is a valuable pick right here. I'm not sure he would be my pick, but I think he is their pick. Next pick goes to the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions, the last few years, everything they've touched turned to gold. I think it does here. They got the outside rusher from the kid in Michigan last year. They're going to get the inside rusher this year. They're going to get that defensive tackle, probably the premier player, I think, in the 1st round. I know he had bad pro day. That's okay. You can have bad pro day. Jalen Carter, Georgia. I think he goes to Detroit. I think he makes an immediate impact there. The Lions they still got one more pick in the first round. They'll take care of a need there when they get there. But right now, I think Jalen Carter going number 6 to the Lions makes all the sense in the world. 7th, the Raiders. Man, the Raiders could go so many directions here. I mean, a lot of people got Will Levis going here. A lot of people even have another quarterback, the quarterback from Stanford going here. I don't see it. I just don't. I think the Raiders are going to go free agent route with their quarterback, stay put there. I think they're going Devin Witherspoon. Devin Witherspoon, the first cornerback taken out of this draft, which Michael Peterson up to this morning. How you doing? Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. I think he's going to go to the Raiders. The Raiders need so much on defense too. You know, we talk about how much they need on offense. Or defense really, really was in the bottom 5 of every category. Yards allowed, passing yards allowed, rushing yards allowed, and points. They were not very good last year. Devin Witherspoon can help out a lot there on the cornerback position from Illinois. The Falcons are next. The Falcons seem to think they have their quarterback kind of in line right now. We'll see what happens there. I think they're going for an edge rusher, and they're going to get the guy from Clemson, Myles Murphy. Myles Murphy, I think this is the way to go right here. Edge rusher. Atlanta, their offense showed some sputters last year of trying to do something with Mariota. Mariota's gone now. We'll see what Ritter can do. Their defense, suspect at best. And Myles Murphy will bring some, at least a little assurance there on the front. Next, we got the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, where do they go? Where do they go? Well, if you want to take care of Justin Fields and make sure he is standing upright, you go with the offensive tackle, probably the best offensive tackle in this draft. Peter Skoronski from Northwestern, he's right there. He's right there in Chicago virtually. And they've got to see him play all the way through his college days. Peter Skoronski, offensive tackle, hard-nosed kid, played Big Ten football. He's going to try to help run the football, and that's exactly what the Bears need to do is try to run the football as much as possible. That's the way they go. The next pick is by the Eagles. I don't necessarily like this pick. I always tell you, you can get a running back outside the top 20 in the draft. Well, they're going to go in the top 10 and go for running back. They're going for Bijan Robinson, from Texas. And I don't like this pick at all. Yes, he's a great, great athlete. Yes, I understand that. But you don't take a running back in your top 20. I think they're going to do it, though. I'm pretty much sold that the Eagles are going to try to go after that running back early. If not, I think he's still there later in the first round when they do get a second pick. They get a second pick at 30. I think he can still be there then, but I think he's overvalued pick, and they're going to go for Bijan Robinson there from Texas with number 10 pick overall. The Titans get the next pick, and this one right here may surprise you a little bit. The Titans I think they're going to go after Kentucky's Will Levis right here. The kid from Liberty did not show a lot last year. They may want a QB competition. If that's what they want, you got it. But, last year's quarterback, only one went in the first round, went to Pittsburgh and hit that. The main thing they did is try to keep him upright. They didn't keep the kids upright down in Tennessee. I would see offensive linemen right here. Really, I would love to see Darnell Wright or Paris Johnson Jr. go right here. I don't think it happens, though. I think they're going quarterback. I really do. Will Levis, Kentucky, goes number 11. to the Titans. Number 12, the Texans. This is another place I think Paris Johnson Jr. could go, but I don't think he's going to go. I think Lucas Van Ness from Iowa, edge rusher. They're trying to get their defense back to where it was. Well, yeah, but you getting C.J. Stroud early, you got to keep him upright. But I think they're going to go defense here, edge rusher. Lucas Van Ness, Iowa, is the number 12 pick. 13th pick, the Jets. Everything indicates that they're going after Aaron Rodgers this year in the offseason. Aaron Rodgers, the only way Aaron Rodgers is going there is if they do try to tighten up their offensive line. And I think they will here. Paris Johnson Jr., Ohio State. He is a very versatile offensive lineman. He can play left tackle. He can play right tackle. He can play left guard. But he's a big enough kid, and he's got the speed too. Paris Johnson Jr. goes to the Jets. Whether they get Aaron Rodgers or not, I think it's a pretty safe pick at 13. 14, the Patriots. Are they going to be up in there for a quarterback? Are they going to actually try to trade Mac Jones? I don't know. A lot of indications showing they are going to try to trade him. But in either case here, I really like Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback from Oregon here. The Patriots need to get better on defense and corners especially. I think Christian Gonzalez goes 14th. 15th, the Packers. Well, if Love is going to be your new quarterback, well, you got to keep him upright. And why not go with one of the best offensive tackles out there, Broderick Jones from Georgia? We saw what Georgia used to have destroyed TCU in a championship game and beat them by 56 points. And a big part of that was Broderick Jones, an offensive tackle, protecting his quarterback. Well, he gets a chance to protect the Packers quarterback here, whoever it may be, and I think that's the route they go. Number 15, Broderick Jones from Georgia, offensive tackle. Next, we got the Washington Commanders. Every mock draft I have seen has the Commanders taking a cornerback here. I like that pick pretty good. I would probably go with the tight end Dalton Kincaid here. Or actually, I wouldn't even go Dalton Kincaid. I would go Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. I like him the best overall. That's with my heart. I'm saying I would like a tight end here picked. They need one. They've got the outside receivers. They got the running back. And with Sam Howell, I think they have their quarterback. If they got a tight end, their offensive line is pretty good already. They can still tweak it and get a little better, I think. But I like Michael Mayer to go here, but he's not. I think they're going to go defensive back. Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State has been everybody. He's the talk of the town in Washington. They pretty much have already given him a uniform and a uniform number from what I'm understanding. If he doesn't go any earlier than this, and he would only be the second cornerback taken, it's a good chance Joey Porter Jr. ends up in Washington. Next, we got the Steelers. We were just talking about the Steelers, got their young quarterback last year. He was throwing it about around the yard, but he did get hit around a couple times. Why not get the offensive tackle Darnell Wright from Tennessee? I don't think you can go wrong here, too. He can play left tackle or right tackle. He's very, very versatile. He's a great run protector, but I even think he's even better pass protector. Darnell Wright is a really, really good athlete, and he's a big guy, too. Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, Tennessee, goes to the Steelers. Next, the Lions. They've already taken care of getting Jalen Carter, I said earlier in the round. Now you go to the other side of football, Dalton Kincaid as a tight end. Beautiful pick here from Utah. They can go multiple tight. I mean, they can go 3 or 4 different tight ends here. Dalton Kincaid is the number one tight end on the board. I don't necessarily agree with it. I like the kid from Notre Dame better than any of them. But Dalton Kincaid would take care of a big need. He is a very, very good receiving tight end. Detroit hasn't had that in a long, long time. Dalton Kincaid, Utah, goes to the Lions. The Buccaneers, where do they go right here? A lot of people are telling me they're going quarterback here. I don't think so. I think they're going defense. And I think they're going edge rusher with Nolan Smith from Georgia. Nolan Smith, absolute brute. He knows how to play the position. He made Jalen Carter better. Jalen Carter made him better. These guys, and you put him on this Buccaneers defense. They're not slouches there either. Nolan Smith going down to Georgia. Leaving Georgia, going to Tampa. Not a long hike there at all. Edge rusher Nolan Smith, Georgia, goes to Tampa Bay, 19th. 20th, Seahawks. Like I said earlier, they got Tyree Wilson, the edge rusher, with their 5th overall pick. That doesn't mean right here they're not going quarterback. And I think they do go quarterback here. I think they're going to go get Tennessee's quarterback, Hendon Hooker. Got to see this kid play a good bit in college. To me, this is just personally, I think he's the best quarterback in this draft all the way across the board. I like Hendon Hooker the best. You put him up there in Seattle. They got a really good offensive line. They were able to run the football last year. If they can get one more receiver, I think this team could be a team next year that could be a playoff team. I really do. I think they're that good. They surprised some people last year. They don't have to surprise anybody this year. They're going to be actually really, really good. Hendon Hooker, 20th overall pick, Tennessee, goes to the Seahawks. 21st pick, going to the Chargers. Look, there's so many ways they can go. I think defense is the side of the football. They need to take care of it, though. And Kalijah Cansey. Okay. Defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. I think he goes here. Defensive tackle. I didn't really get to see this kid play much at Pittsburgh, but I've heard good things about him. Look, the Chargers need anything they can do to try to rev up their pass rush and stopping the run. Stopping the run was a big problem for him last year, and he could be a stopgap here. Kalijah Cansey, Pittsburgh, 21st pick. 22nd. Now we're going to start on the wide receiver rush, and the Ravens are going to get the first overall wide receiver in this draft. Actually, yeah, Jackson Smith Najigba. Jackson Smith Najigba from Ohio State. I think the Ravens get him. They need somebody to throw to. I personally think you need a quarterback to throw it to, but hey, that's another day and another story. But Najigba, I think, goes to Baltimore. While we're still on the wide receiver rush, the Vikings, what do they need? I think they could actually use a tight end in Michael Mayer as well. I don't think they're going that route, though. I think they're going to go with Quentin Johnston. Personally, to me, one of the 2 best wide receivers in this draft, Quentin Johnston from TCU. I think he's going to the Vikings, and I really, really think this kid, out of everybody in this first round, is one of the top 5 players. And if he would have went 5th overall, 6th overall, it wouldn't surprise me, okay? That's how good a player I think this kid is. Quentin Johnston, TCU. He is a beast. He's not a big guy, but he's a beast at player. Wide receiver, and a very good one at that. I see him going to the Vikings. Jaguars. Jags made a lot of offensive picks last year. This year they're going defense. Edge rusher Will McDonald IV, Iowa State. I like this pick big time too if they go for him. They need some pass rush on some of these young quarterbacks that Tennessee has, that Houston has. That's what they need. They need to go after some of these players. And, Houston, Tennessee, that's the way. That's the way to go if you really, really, really want to get better. I think is to is try to go out there and maybe get the best player available, and I think he is here. And when you play the Texans and the Titans and the Colts, they're all going to have young quarterbacks. Go after them. Go after them big. Will McDonald IV, Iowa State, goes to the Jags, 24th. We get back on the wide receiver blitz here with the Giants, and I think Jordan Addison of USC goes next. It could be a couple of guys here, but I like Jordan Addison here going to the Giants. He runs good routes. Jones needs that, and I think he will impact the Giants big time here this year. 26th overall pick, the Cowboys. I think they're going wide receiver as well. Zay Flowers from Boston College. He is an absolute burner. He can run maybe one of the top 2 or 3 speed guys in this draft, offensively and defensively. Zay Flowers, he has top-notch speed. Wide receiver from Boston College goes to the Cowboys. The Bills, I think now have to kind of look at their safety position after last year and really, really look at it close. I like Brian Branch from Alabama here. I think he's the best safety in the draft. I think they're getting a value pick and a much needed pick right here. Brian Branch can hit and he can cover as well. Brian Branch, Alabama, 27th overall pick, safety, goes to the Bills. The Bengals, I think they go with the tight end from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer. Great value pick here. Like I say, if he was 15th overall pick and took Michael Mayer, it wouldn't have been too high. And right here, they get him at 28th, I think. And this is a value pick. You don't try to move up if you don't have to, not if the guy falls to you. And in the case, if Dalton Kincaid falls there and Michael Mayer goes, Kincaid can be great for you. Darnell Washington could be. 3 good tight ends. I think personally Michael Mayer is the best of the 3 from Notre Dame going to the Bengals. Saints get to next pick. I think they're going tight end as well. Darnell Washington from Georgia. Very good running, blocking tight end. Very good. Skills catching, need to get up there. Plus, he's a real big guy. He can probably lose maybe 5-10 pounds. Not a lot, because they want him blocking for some of those runners in New Orleans. Darnell Washington, Georgia, goes to the Saints, 29th. 30th, the Eagles here. The Eagles have already made their splash at 10 with Bijan Robinson as running back. I think he could have held back and got him way later. But now I think they're going to go edge rusher Keon White, Georgia Tech. He is a beast. And you put him together with some of these players that the Eagles have, they have got a serious pass defense and a real big-time pass rush. Finally, the Chiefs, I think they could go a lot of different ways here, but I think they're going to go edge rusher. Felix Anaduke Azuma from Kansas State. He's a home product right there. He's right in Kansas State, right there nearby. And I think he's going to the Chiefs. He's an edge rusher. And we'll see what happens. I really, really think that he is going. I think he's a real deal, too. We'll see what happens. Now, who is some value picks I've got that are going later in this draft? Wow. I like Tank Dell from Houston. I think he's going to be an excellent wide receiver. Tank Dell. And Tanner McKee. He's a quarterback from Stanford. He could go probably third or fourth round. I think he could be a value pick there. And Jahmyr Gibbs, Alabama. I just think that there's so much defense going on out there that we may only get one running back taken this year, where, last year was only one quarterback. This year, I've got 5 quarterbacks going in the first round. That could definitely end up being 6 or 7, and definitely could fall back to 4 or 3. It definitely could. But I think there will be 5 quarterbacks going this season in the first round, and it should be very, very interesting. Don't forget to catch my channel as well as APBA Brian, Appa Brian's channel on draft night. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time, okay? 8 p.m. Eastern time. It starts, and it'll be going on all the way to midnight. And it should be really, really, really an action-packed night. April 27th. Mark it on your calendar. Thursday, April 27th, 8 p.m. We'll be online live roughly 7:30 to get things going for you. So I hope you will join us. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for spending 30 minutes with me this morning. All right. Bye-bye.